Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is the Palangi Professor. Also, my first name is Colton. I wanted to welcome you out to this course that I'm trying to do on Tongan basics. Really a heavy focus on grammar in this course. And then ko kimotolope mo le fa Tonga ko fita de le kimotolope ko channel. Pe fia pe fa maria ko ne ko ma ko le ato pe fenga ke a ko ia e le fa Tonga ko le fa fo ko ni ke nihi ka no local poto he lea. Um, but yeah, we're grateful for everybody that could make it out to the channel. Please feel free to share it, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll have more more lessons coming up shortly. Let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to quickly go over some resources. If you're watching the videos and you get stuck or you have questions, something's not you're not quite sure about, feel free to email me at my email here, palangi.professor@gmail.com. Also, if you are needing potential tutoring options, one-on-one, something like that, we can get that set up if there's something a strong need that you have. There's also a Udemy course by another individual. We're not affiliated. I don't actually know the person that made it, but it's got really good reviews. I sent some people there before that were trying to learn Tongan. I also want to shout out Brianna from Tongan Toddler. She does a really great job. She has a lot of resources, especially for teaching children. Her YouTube channel has a lot of videos, as well as she teaches Tongan. She's a Palangi girl that served her mission in Tonga, and she's got Instagram and some other things, probably TikTok. That's her name on there is She Teaches Tongan. So go check them out. They're really great resources, and they're doing a lot in the space. Um, and other things that you'll probably want to look at is Eric B. Shumway's Tongan book. You can get it on Amazon usually for like $30. It also goes through the grammar quite well. The way that he presents the book is a little bit not to my liking, which is why I'm going to try to be a bit more straightforward. But it's a good resource. And then for dictionaries, the best one is the Church Word Dictionary, but they're very hard to find. I don't think they make them anymore, and if they do, they're really hard to get outside of Tonga. So just look online though, for Tongan English Dictionary. You can usually find some websites that have basic ones on there, and just look things up. All right, so looking at the introduction, sorry I moved my camera down here to not be blocking. This presentation provides an overview of the fundamentals of Tongan grammar, covers the alphabet, pronunciation, basic sentence structure, and try to do some clear guidance on grammar. I honestly believe that if you can focus on learning the grammar in Tongan, vocab will come over time. There's really no quick way to get the vocab. You just have to study it every day, make a list of 10, 20, 30 words, and try to memorize each of those every day and make a new list. That's the best way to do it. Anytime you hear a word you don't know, write it down and go look it up and try to keep building the vocab. Obviously, we're trying to facilitate a little bit more of a structured approach to mastering Tongan language concepts, especially grammar. So let's look at the alphabet here. I have the alphabet arranged by vowel consonant. There are alphabet videos. I think, again, Tongan Toddler has some on her channel, I believe. So if you want to go learn how to sing the alphabet song, you can do that. I believe one of my other videos I sing it, but I'm not gonna do that again and put you guys through that pain. So we'll look at this here. We have a, e, o, u for the vowels, and then fa, ha, ga, la, ma, na, nga, ba, sa, ta, va, and then the glottal stop for the consonants. The Tongan alphabet has 17 letters. Some of these distinctive sounds are the nga sound, as in sing, and the glottal stop, as in uh-oh. The glottal stop is something that's very hard for English speakers to understand or to hear or to pronounce correctly. And it's just something that you have to practice. But basically, if the vowel sound is starting from your throat, that's probably going to be a glottal stop. So if you're saying ah 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 versus ah ah ah, more like coming from your tongue, then you'll be using a glottal stop. It's also important to notice that there are short vowels and long vowels. Long vowels are marked with the macron or the line over it. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Pronunciation practice. So I'm going to go ahead and look at some differences in meanings based on the pronunciation. So we have something like manava, which is a womb or your heart, depending on how it's used in the sentence, versus manava, which is to breathe or breath. So obviously there's other words where depending on the vowel, and if it's a short vowel or a long vowel, it's going to change the meaning. Another example here, we have fa'a, which is a prefix that means often, um, versus fa. So one has a fa'o'a, or the glottal stop sound in fa'a, and then the other one has a macron over the a to make it a long vowel for fa, which means four. We also have anga, which is the nature, something like anga whakaotua, godly nature, versus anga, which is a shark. Again, we talked about that. Do your best to try to practice the difference between having a glottal stop at the beginning of a word and not. But it is very difficult to learn as a non-native Tongan speaker. Three words that have some sounds in it. So we have oku, ngatu, and tamasi'i. A lot of people have problems with words that end with the nga sound. Again, it's just ngatu. How I taught myself how to say it is, if you just say Tonga, Tonga, we all know how to say Tonga. Just say tongatu, tongatu, and then just take off the front. Ngatu, tongatu, ngatu. Or you can say ngahi, ngahi. But for some reason, a lot of people get it very nasally instead of in the throat. So you really want it tonga, tonga, nga, 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 ngatu, instead of the nasally sound that a lot of people have it come out. A tip for Tongan is there are no consonant clusters. What that means is there's no consonants put together. There'll always be a vowel between two consonants, and every word will end in a vowel. This makes the language sound very beautiful and song-like, and it also just helps with pronunciation. It's a very up and down, almost has a beat to the way that you speak the language. Moving on. Looking at the basic sentence structure. So the basic sentence structure in Tongan is verb, subject, object. That's not always the case, of course, and you can break this rule if you want to. But English is subject, verb, object. So, for example, instead of saying the boy eats the fish, in Tongan it would be eats the boy the fish. So we can see here okukai aitamasi aika versus if you wanted to say it, the boy eats the fish, you would have to say something like koi tamasi okukaya ika, which you can say, but it's just not how they would normally say it. So that should help to make sense. I also want to point out that similar to Spanish, Tongan does put the adjective after the verb. So instead of saying a red car in English, you would say a car red, or comfortable bed. It would be a bed comfortable. So that's important to note as well. The adjectives usually go after the verb. The adjectives usually go after the noun in Tongan, just like they do in Spanish and some other languages. All right, we'll go ahead and look at building simple sentences. So for this lesson, we're just going to present or bring up the present tense marker as something we can use to make sentences. Later on, we'll discuss other tense markers as well. And we're also going to discuss the subject marker, which is a focus marker to denote a subject in a sentence. So oku is the present tense marker. It signifies the present or habitual tense in Tongan, and it's essential for conveying ongoing actions. And the particle a functions as a subject marker or focus marker for definitive or specific nouns. So the subject marker a doesn't really translate to anything. in English. It just is something that lets us know that the next noun in the sentence is the subject. In most cases, a, there is a one situation where it would become the object of the sentence, but we'll discuss that in further lessons. And then oku is a tense marker, which again does not translate to anything, but it lets you know that the next phrase of that sentence is in the present tense. So let's look at articles as well. Articles in Tongan distinguish um, if something's definitive or specific. So the definite articles he and a correspond to the, indicating a known or specific subject. The indefinite article ha corresponds to a or any, and this is for a non-specific subject. So, for example, we have the subject marker, which we just learned about, a, letting us know that's the subject of the sentence. And then ae tamasi'i, the boy. So a there is letting us know that it's a definitive boy, the boy. You also have he akau, the tree, which would have a preposition before, like to the akau, or to the tree, or on the tree, or from the tree. But here we're just leaving off the preposition. And then ha'ika is a fish or any fish. So go bring alo mai ha'ika, go bring a fish, right? And instead of saying alo mai aeika, the fish, that fish over there, or the specific fish, we're just saying you can bring any fish, it doesn't matter. So going on here. Some example sentences and practice activities. Oku kai ai tamasi'i, the boy eats. Oku alo e fefine ki he fale, the woman goes to the house. Oku sio ha tamasi'i ai ika, the boy sees a fish. A boy sees a fish. So you can go ahead and build something like the woman eats and see that we would just take oku kai ai tamasi'i and change out fefine for tamasi'i, oku kai fefine, and then you have a woman eats, the woman eats. The boy goes to the house. Again, this one you could try yourself, but you want to take that second sentence and just switch out the woman in it to the boy. And go ahead and say these things out loud. Practice these sentences. Feel free to pause the video and practice saying these sentences out loud. We'll go ahead and look at our conclusion for this lesson. This is a very basic one. We want to get things rolling, and then we can get deeper in the grammar as we move along. But we did outline the verb, subject, object, sentence structure in Tongan. Looked at some the present tense, essential tense, and subject markers, and article usage in Tongan. For some homework, if you want to, go ahead and try to find a Tongan text. The scriptures are a really good one, and read those out loud. Try to record yourself and hear your pronunciation, and then get ready for lesson 2 on pronouns, which will be coming up shortly. And that's all I had. I wanted to thank you for joining this video. If you liked it, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and we will get some more coming to you to the channel here shortly, some more lessons. Thank you so much. Whawhamaloa ato ki mo tolu na mo lava mai ki he poloklama ko ni. Whakaamo pe, ko e mea aunga pe ki kati mo tolu mo whamili. Kole pe mo toi hao he lesoni fo'o. He channel ko ni pea mo vahe mo like ai video ko ni mo subscribe ki ko channel malo apito